All right, everybody, welcome back to another amazing episode of Secrets from the Saddle, all things cyclists, with your host, Sylvie Daou, here in beautiful Chelsea, Quebec, Canada. And we have this amazing lady. I don't know where I'm finding them, from the UK. This is Vera Sambrook. She was actually referred to the podcast by a previous podcaster, Chris Knott, who is working in Malawi, and he does cycling and insurance. So you have to go check out that episode. But Vera has a really cool story. And before we bring her out, I'm just going to give a little bit of background on her. She's a mechanical engineer. Her name, we can tell her, she's 28 years old. She's awesome. And she describes herself as an adventure endurance cyclist. And this is something that's intrigued me recently. She got into cycling 4 years ago through tandem riding. And I'm not going to go much into that because that's part of her story. But her aim is to help increase representation of Black women in cycling, while sharing her experience on social media and encouraging others to push their boundaries. So before we bring her out, make sure you go follow her on Instagram and myself. She's at pedaling to and fro, but I think you can just Google her or search for her and you'll find her. And then myself. So Vera, thank you. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvie.
All right. Oh, I'm so happy to have you because, like I was saying, adventure endurance cyclist is I've been thinking a lot more about that the more I talk to people. And it's great to talk to a woman about this. So let's start by how you got into cycling, because there's a little bit here, but how did that come about?
So I had just finished university. It's moved cities to start a graduate job. And I started working at this engineering firm where there are a lot of very sort of cycling enthusiasts. And each year they organize this charity ride called Engineers for Overseas Development to raise money for charity projects in Africa. And I just started dating this guy at the time who had done this charity ride the year before. And he was like, "Oh, do you want to do this, charity ride that we do every year?" And I was like, "No, I've not ridden a bike since I was like less than 10. What am I going to be doing? Like cycling across the country, doing 210 miles it was over a weekend, like over 2 days. I'm not doing it." They said to me, "What if I get a tandem?" I was like, "What's a tandem?" It's like, it's this bike. It's got 2 seats, and you do nothing on the back, and you can just like lounge around, and I'll take you around the country.
Lounge around. You're like,
yeah. So I was like, well, okay. You've got my attention now. I can just sort of sip prosecco champagne in the back and sort of,
That's right, the umbrella.
Yeah, so that's how it was sold to me. I was quite naive, and I was like, you don't want to say no to someone you're dating, and you just started dating, and you're sort of going along with everything. Yeah. So that's how it started.
So I think I better Google this. What is tandem cycling?
Yeah. So a few months later, that's how I found myself on the back of this rickety tandem, cycling across the country on this charity ride. And it was a lot of hard work. I was being shouted at the back, like, "You put in some power," and
You're like, "Excuse me, I thought this, like, you were gonna take care of me."
Yeah, that's what I thought. And we were having all these punctures and just stuck in the middle of nowhere with sheep staring at us because Wales is full of sheep. And it was just this stupid adventure, but somehow I didn't really hate it. It was like, this is stupid, but it's actually a bit of fun.
But I think I like it.
Yeah, so that's how it started. So I got to the end of this thing thinking, yeah, that was stupid, but actually I think I kind of maybe liked it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I didn't immediately sort of get into it. Because I used to do another sport. I used to play football a lot. So I left the cycling, went back to sort of football, but I got injured in football. And that's how I ended up circling back due to like rehab and low impact sports and things. So it was only like, you know, almost a year after that event that I looked at cycling and started getting into it.
Were they like, here you have to get on a bike to rehab your injury? Yeah. You're like,
yeah.
Oh.
Well, having these flashbacks.
I remember that bike experience.
Yeah, that felt like a dream. So yeah.